Yuli Bwanji from Keswick Village. This is the Rorschach Malawi update from the 11th of February 2025. A quick summary of what's going down in Malawi. The Malawi Congress Party, or MCP, wants to propose the age limit, which puts the cutoff age of presidential candidates at 65 to ensure youthful leaders. However, the draft bill has been put into question since the government might be grasping for power, and many aren't having it. Some media houses and human rights bodies accuse the MCP of segregation, and political parties like the Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, think the government is trying to eliminate them from the presidential race. The age limit bill was first proposed in 2019 by the opposing United Transformation Movement, but didn't pass. The proposed cutoff age for presidential candidates then was 65, which made Peter Mutharika, the DPP's leader and former Malawi president of Shakira, ineligible. Now, with the proposed age of 75, Mutharika becomes ineligible, with the president Shakira conveniently remains eligible, although he wasn't during the first proposal of the bill. Meanwhile, the Malawi Electoral Commission, or MEC, report released on Wednesday the 5th said that over 7.2 million people registered to vote in the upcoming September elections. This represents a little over 65% of the registered voters that the National Statistical Office had projected. They had forecasted nearly 11 million people. MEC's report did not say why other citizens did not register to vote in the elections. However, they said this is a preliminary report and that the figures might change slightly. At the moment, most of the registered voters are from Lilongwe district in the central region, with over 400,000 registered voters. The district with the lowest number of registered voters is Lilongwe in the northern region. 5,000 local jobs are hanging by a thread following President Donald Trump's order to dismantle the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, USAID. On Wednesday, the 5th, local news said that USAID was providing nearly $290 million to almost all sectors in Malawi. It also funded over 35 initiatives. Despite the development, the government seems positive that foreign donors will come to Malawi's rescue. Last week, Moses Kunku, the government spokesperson, told local media that rich countries are still interested in supporting Malawi's development agendas, but there's skepticism. Some comments on social media indicate that people feel this is a great time for the country to learn to stand on its own. Shifting gears, in our last episode, we mentioned that electricity tariffs had gone up. Now, on Saturday the 8th, local news said that the country's regional water board submitted proposal to increase their tariffs too. Local news said the Northern Region Water Board wants to up its tariffs by 55%. The Central Region Water Board wants a 45% increase, and the Southern Region Water Board wants to increase its tariffs by 35%. All of them said that the upward adjustments are important for achieving full cost recovery. Even though there's a general understanding of why the water boards want to increase their tariffs, many are worried they won't survive the rising cost of living. In other news, the High Court banned the use of thin plastics as of Monday the 10th. This means that local production, distribution, importation, and sale of thin plastics is now illegal, and that all violators will face legal consequences. The Malawi Environment Protection Authority and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Climate Change collaborated to initiate the ban, saying thin plastics are harmful to the environment. The ban might not be effective since the first ban on thin plastics happened in 2015, but manufacturers of thin plastics challenged it in court, thus giving them leeway to still produce the plastics while the case was drawn out in court. On Thursday the 6th, the president, who also serves as the commander-in-chief of the Malawi Defense Force, ordered the withdrawal of Malawian troops from the Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC. On Monday the 3rd, one of the warning parties in the DRC unrest, the M23 rebels announced that they would cease fire on Tuesday the 4th, hence the president's orders. Local news said Malawi had contributed troops as part of the United Nations peacekeeping mission in DRC to help stabilize the conflict-ridden region. The Ministry of Transport wants to construct a railway line that connects Malawi to Tanzania. On Monday the 10th, Jacob Hara, the Minister of Transport, said the line will run from Chilumba in Karanga district to the northern region Mbai, Tanzania, and will be part of the Tanzania-Zambia Railway Authority railway line, which links the port of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania with the city of Capri Moshi in Zambia. He said the line would facilitate transport between the countries by connecting two major cargo centers. On another note, the Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority launched the Child Online Protection, or COP, initiative in Lilongwe on Friday, the 7th. Monica Shakira, the First Lady and Ambassador of the COP initiative, called for increased multi-sectoral vigilance to protect children in the evolving digital landscape. She said that while the COP initiative will work towards ensuring children have access to safe online environments, key players like guardians also have a role to play. During the event, Moses Kinkuyu, the Information and Digitization Minister, said the initiative aligns with the ministry's mission to expand access to internet usage and will offer protection in online spaces. In some tragic news, Lucius Chikuni passed away on Monday the 10th in Blantyre in the southern region. He was 84. Local news did not say how or why he passed, but they mentioned he had been admitted to the Mwathu Hospital in the city. Chikuni is not only celebrated for being a familiar voice on the Malawi Broadcasting Corporation and Zodiac radio stations, he is especially celebrated for writing the famous Adafranji play, meaning, "Why Did He Die?" To honor and preserve the legacy of John Chilembwe, who was Malawi's freedom fighter, he also created several radio sweepers for stations across the country. Several people have shared their condolences both on mainstream and social media. Mary Chilima, widow of Saulos Chilima, the late vice president, said she will launch the Saulos Klaus Chilima Foundation, which is a non-partisan and non-political organization aimed at fulfilling the vision and goals of the departed vice president. On Wednesday, the 5th, Mary told local news that the foundation would be launched in Lilongwe through a gala event on Wednesday, the 12th, which would have been Chilima's 52nd birthday. She also said the foundation would serve as a beacon of hope, progress, and empowerment for Malawians, and that it will promote education, self-reliance, and leadership. On Monday, the 10th, local news announced that President Shakira had been invited to the event. Many locals were surprised since there were rumors that the president was involved in Chilima's death. Speaking of President Shakira, he launched the construction of 34 schools of excellence, a project set to transform Malawi's education landscape. The idea is to bridge the gap between rural and urban education, providing quality teaching, resources, modern facilities, and learning environments driven by technology. On Saturday the 8th, local news said education experts think that schools of excellence will increase literacy levels and fix long-standing issues such as overcrowded classrooms. Even though this is arguably the president's biggest move regarding education since he came into office in 2020, it might be a way of garnering support for the presidential elections. More news on education since Tunj Mtambu, a local teacher at Tandola Primary School in Chitapad District in the northern region, is on top 10 list of finalists being considered for the 2025 Global Teacher Prize. This is the second time she made it to the finals, following her win in 2022. Local news said that Mtambu has beaten over 5,000 nominees from 89 countries. Mtambu, who survived child marriage herself, uses her teaching role to also challenge common issues like child marriage, poverty, and gender inequality. She initiated programs like girls' hostels, literacy-boosting spelling bees, and school-feeding programs which help over 15,000 girls. If she wins, Ntambu will get a whopping $1 million grand prize. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. A huge thank you to all our listeners who tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms, especially those who help spread the word by sharing the show with friends and family. If you'd like to send an episode as an MP3 file, you can download it directly from our website at www.rorshik.com. The link is also available in the show notes. Thank you. Pitana Pimu.